Hey everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and another episode of the Whatever Report. And tonight it's definitely going to be a lot of whatever. Excuse me, like, dang it, I don't know where that came from. I wasn't doing that before I went live. Of course, right after I hit the button. Excuse me. Don't know where that all came from, but yeah, so yeah, we're hanging out. It's a Saturday. I always appreciate folks come hang out with me. Somebody wants the link tonight. It's open. I don't know how long the stream is gonna go. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do. I know some of it, but yeah, don't know where it's all gonna go. I have my man John in here, pointing out that yes, Bear Island's last con video, which is the height of YouTube, comic book YouTube, at least the community I'm a part of, is always linked in the description of this video because you should go watch it. I need to go watch it again. I haven't watched it for a while. I need to. My man GT Key was in the house tailgating as well. What's going on, sir? And of course, Lasso. Did I say the biggest fan? I don't know. That might be going a little far, but our big fan of the show, which I always appreciate him coming and hanging out with us, even if the Let's Collect Jocasta is not going to happen, my friend. It's just not going to happen. He's going to be mad at me today. So for anybody coming in here, Lasso is, once I start talking about what's been going on with me, Lasso is going to be so disappointed. What are we going to do? What is up, Planet Arizona? Coming to you from Carlsbad, New Mexico, on your way to Dallas for the eclipse. Nice. That'll be my last dark on Monday. You know, my folks are like, hey, did you get your eclipse glasses? And I'm like, no, I haven't got any. I think I might still have some from the last one we had, which was like more than a decade ago, laying on my work desk. But I think I actually got rid of them like 2 years ago. They laid there for like 8 years and I got rid of them. So I got to track something down so I can actually like look at the eclipse. Is that Tuesday? Monday? I don't even know. I need to double check when it is. I am not prepped, but yeah, this should be cool. We're in the like 90%. I forget exactly what it is, but we're gonna get not the full, but close, I think. So, but now that would be cool. That would be cool. So yeah, we're hanging out. Normally, we start the stream with a little bit of what are we drinking? We're gonna get into that a little bit because it really has to do with some other stuff we're going to talk about. Maybe this what we picked up this week. So we may start there instead. Will you chew eclipse gum? Probably not. Probably not. So a little bit going on with me lately. Like I feel like last couple months, even before the conference that I went to, that I was in charge of, and everything else, that my life has just been, that I've been scattered, haven't been particularly productive, haven't been particularly focused. Yeah, I just feel like I've been all over the place. And this particular last week was just constant little things at work and just stuff that it felt like, oh, it was wasting my time. Shade 12-minute welding glass works for Monday. Is it Monday? Okay. Yeah, it is Monday. You're right. So I need to figure out something tomorrow. So there you go. So yeah, it is. You're right. It's not Tuesday. It's Monday. It's the eclipse. But so I'll probably try to see if I can track something down tomorrow. But anyway, I've been a little all over the place. And hey, Vinny. So anybody comes here for comics, not going to get a lot of comics tonight. Just not. So today, I literally had nothing going on. Not hardly anything. So I decided to do something a little different. I had a little more. I have some money coming back my way from a couple things, and I had a little more tax return. So I decided to go on a hunt today. Only I didn't go hunting for comics. I've been like back on the whole train with. I've been watching a ton of Bourbon YouTube the last couple weeks. Instead of reading and doing the stuff Lash wants me to do, I have not read a comic this week other than Black Science that we talked about on Wednesday. So yeah, I've been a little bit into the YouTube thing, not quite or the bourbon thing now for not quite 2 years. Um, and I don't have a ton. I've mostly been drinking stuff. I don't really have a collection. I have a little bit of a selection, I think is the correct way to put it, because I open and drink everything. I've had like 40 some odd bottles over the 2 years now, that I've tried, and most of which, about half of which, are still here, because they haven't been finished. But anyway, I did a bourbon hunt today. I drove up, like, I have a colleague that I work with, called him yesterday. I was like, I'm thinking about doing this. He couldn't go, but he was telling me some of the places he does. Because in my little town, there's like one liquor store. So I drove up. I went to Warrensburg. I went to Lee Summit. I bounced around. I was tempted by some expensive stuff. Um, Not everything I'm going to show is something I picked up today. But yeah, so we're going to but I was tempted by some really expensive stuff. I didn't buy anything that was over $100. I didn't. I mostly just bought stuff that was kind of things that I've been wanting to try, hadn't missed out on. Hey, Bobby, what is going on? Johnny, have a link if you want to join us, because you said in your video I was watching 10 minutes ago that you were like, drop me the link if you're around today. So I dropped you the link right after, literally, like you said that. And then I went into my thing because I didn't get to watch it live. I got to watch it tonight. So, hey, Gordon, what is going on? Comics with the cat. Yes, let's really, John. He did have a teenager on today. She was on there for like 15 seconds, but he didn't have one make it. So I picked up a bunch of stuff today. Today I picked up. Actually found, like, I've had this before. I drank my original bottle, but I actually found this for MSRP, like, which in Missouri is almost impossible to do. So yeah, under $30. Under $30 tax, like, yeah, we'll take that. So we're not going to drink that tonight because we've had it, but I did pick up a bottle of Buffalo Trace today. I should have started with we'll save that to the end. I picked up a Ben Holiday 1 barrel bourbon that everybody's been raving about. I've had just the regular Ben Holiday. I haven't had any of their like cast strength stuff. This is 121.2 proof. Like a single store did it. It's like a store pick. But yeah, people have been raving about that. I picked that up. I also picked up just their regular. Whoa, as I bumped my camera. Well, I really just bumped the cord and now it's out of focus. There we go. And I also picked up, I was going to try to get like a Rick House Ben Holiday of the regular and a Rick House of their soft red wheat. I didn't find it. That's why I ended up picking up the 1 barrel too. Plus, I'm going to do something. I got something fun that I'm going to do with the holiday stuff. I'm going to try it now. So now I can have a holiday. Yeah. I'm not going to have a holiday today, but we're going to do something with that a little later. But I also picked up the Rick House proof version, which is a small batch. I think they said 30 barrels. I forget. I don't know if it says exactly how many barrels. I thought it did, but I'm not seeing it. It doesn't matter. So those I picked up today. Those 2 holidays. Same style of bourbon, just be a little different. I also picked up one. I'm a huge fan of like Wild Turkey and Rare Breed and Russell's 10. So I finally found and picked up a Russell single barrel. I had never tried one of those yet. And then the last thing I picked up today, it's a Missouri thing, Big O. They're pretty widespread right now. So the distillery's been around since like the 1800s. It got bought out by McCormick in like the 60s. In the 80s, when nobody was drinking bourbon, it got closed down. And they kind of moved they kept the label, they kept the land, they just weren't producing anything there. As the bourbon boom started in the 2010s, they reopened it. It's still owned by McCormick, but they're doing their own thing. And yeah, they just started, like 22 was when they first started putting stuff out. Initially, it was just Missouri and Kansas and Iowa. Now I think they're getting pretty wide distribution, but it's really good stuff, particularly if you can find, from everything I've heard, like, I haven't tried them yet, but it's really good stuff. Like, their bottle and bond is 6 years. Like, they haven't put out anything less than 6 years old. I picked up a Larceny Barrel Proof. The first time I've had one of these. I've been wanting to try a Larceny Barrel Proof today. So that's what I picked up today. I had a couple other bottles that were here that I haven't tried, including this Michter's and this McKenna. So from the Larceny, the Michter's, the McKenna, and this Russell Single Barrel, I'm gonna let you guys pick what I'm drinking tonight. So yeah. So yeah, anybody have a suggestion? What should I drink? Should I drink the Russells? Should I try this Henry McKenna 10-year that I've had for a little while? I've been drinking. Anybody? Should I try this Richter's regular bourbon, or should I try this Larceny Barrel Proof? Larceny Barrel Proof is 124.2 proof for the record. The Russells is 110, the McKenna is 100, and the Michter's is like 90 something. So, which bottle should I try? Yes, which bottle should I try? That is what I'm asking. Oh, I was naughty.
How you doing?
How long were you there? Like forever?
It's a couple minutes.
Oh, okay. I didn't actually expect you necessarily to join. I just literally 10 minutes before I went live, I saw you were I was watching your video because I missed it today, and you were like, "If I'll be around today, drop me the link." I was like,
I was in the garage. I was packing. I made a space in the garage where I can actually package up things I want to ship out to people.
Nice.
I have a counter space. I got the blue tape. I got the regular tape. I got the boxes. Nice. I got everything. So I was sending something out to Magic Lasso. I'm sending out something to Chet Scotland. Sending out something to I Got Issues. So I was getting stuff out.
Yeah. So we got a Russell single.
How you
doing? Back. There you go. Just Russell being a Russell. There you go.
All right.
That's probably the one I'm actually most interested in because I know I like their stuff.
Then give that one a get. Then there you go. It's decided for you.
All right. We'll try the Russells. We might try something else later. We'll see. But so how was the con? I seen your haul, but how was it?
It was very fun. I mean, it felt very much like a local con kind of thing because it was just a ton of people from this area that I had either met before or just hadn't connected with and got to hang out with. I was disappointed by I still think a lot of artists and writers are hesitant to go back to cons. Yeah. It just felt like they pick and choose a little more carefully and they don't go to that many. And so the number of big name creators there was really small. I was kind of disappointed by that. But there were, I thought, a ton of comics, a ton of collectibles, whatever you're into, statues, Funkos, whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There weren't as many big name company exhibitors. It wasn't like Funko had a booth. It was people reselling Funko, right? That had their booth. Unknown Comics was the big one that had their booth like they always do. And that's one of my favorites. So I could have spent
Nakayama.
I did. I went stupid. I've even got a little wall of his magazine covers now going behind me.
Oh yeah, you got a bunch of the magazine covers.
I don't know how many he made, but I've got what?
There's a bunch of them because there's several you don't have.
I didn't get any of the guys. Obviously, I just went with the ladies.
X-Men suck. X-women quality.
I mean, you're not wrong. So I got Storm, I got Mystique, I got Emma, I got Rogue, and then I've got the new Rasputin character. I got hers.
Yeah. Which I don't know anything about because I haven't read any of this Hickman era. So
she sort of she showed up in the Hoxpox, the original story, but was in an alternate future, and we didn't know if she was ever going to come back. And then in Sins of Sinister, they kind of brought her in to our timeline because she was freaking cool. Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of Nightcrawler, a little bit of Colossus.
Who's she supposed to be related to?
Nightcrawler, Colossus, Magic. She's got Magic's sword.
She's got Magic sword and but
Colossus is armored. She can bamf like Nightcrawler. She's badass.
So how Nightcrawler and Colossus had a kid. What
No, she was created in Sinister's labs. She's
okay,
basically
that's why
what
there's
Sinister was
5.
trying to make, right? He was
Rasputin 5. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Or
she's
4.
one of the many amalgams he was creating to try to create his like perfect whatever, right? And
Gotcha.
there's a ton of DNA inside like her system, but he's genetically spliced her together. So it's not just those 3 most obvious ones. There's other ones as well.
Okay.
She's got Wolverine's attitude. I mean, that's not wrong, Bobby. You're not wrong.
You know, that's quality. So she's a team player.
Yeah, comics at a con. It's kind of shocking, right? Planet Arizona's right. So yeah, I got a bunch of goodies. It helped me
that's good.
Snag some good stuff.
Some good stuff.
And I instantly texted JP that I was like, "Look, I got the first Carol Danvers. I got it."
You did.
I was like, you and Magic Lasso. I was like instantly texting you guys.
Yeah, it's a great book.
And
it looked like a really nice copy for a 4. Like pretty.
Yeah,
copy.
It's a nice 4. I think it's got a tear on the back cover, but who cares, man? I never thought I'd be able to afford a nice looking copy of that book.
That book has come down quite a bit, which is
it has, and that was part of it. And then again, that seller was willing to like bundle, and I was like, yes, I wanted this cover, I wanted that. He even had a Wolverine in the X-Men sketch variant, like one of the blanks, and I was like, I haven't seen one of those. That run was so long ago. He's like, I'll just throw that in. Like, here, just go ahead and take it. I was like, oh, sweet. So I'll do something fun. I'll have some artist do something awesome with that sketch.
Yeah, cool. So did you get any other sketch covers or just the Batman?
I brought all of them, but I didn't see any. I considered a couple of artists, but I didn't see anybody that I was like sold on yet. Like this is the one. I did get a Kanto sketch blank. There's only a handful of those that exist.
Oh, wow.
I saw David Boer, the creator of Kanto and a ton of other stuff. He's doing Ghostbusters right now, the Ghostbusters comics. Yeah. And he's just always been the nicest guy. And he's like, hey, I've got one of these and they're numbered. He's like, there's only a few hundred of these in existence. And I was like, cool. Can I? Yeah. And I just bought it right off of him. And I was like, I told him what I wanted to do was put Kanto on the Game of Thrones. I want somebody to give me like Kanto sitting on the Game of Thrones is what I want for that.
Game of Thrones chair. There you go.
Yeah. That big chair with all the swords. Yeah. That's what I want. So I got to find a good artist to do that for me.
What?
Because it would look so badass.
Okay.
His little feet dangling.
Yeah. Yeah, this is true. You know.
That's what I want.
Hello, Mr. Dick Thinks.
Oh, he's got the first Carol Danvers too, Lasso. All right, nice.
Oh yeah, Lasso does.
Yeah, it was never really on my watch list. It was never really like something I was thinking about or worrying about. And then he had it, and I was like, it's a nice looking copy. Let's just throw that in. Just keep adding it in.
You have her first. You already had her first Miss Marvel because you have that whole run, right?
Yeah, one of my first giveaways, I gave that book away to Vinny, somebody in the chat that is like a great community member, won it. And I always wanted to get another copy of it. And then at Orlando, or MegaCon, I saw a guy that had a signed copy, a Rubenstein signed copy in his bins, and I was like, I'll take that.
Very nice. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you had a good time. How was vacation? Did you just sit and read while everyone else did stuff, or does that?
We were all sitting and reading. There was a couple of hikes but it was definitely let's just unplug weekend or week, I should say.
Nice.
Yeah, the girls were reading, although Kate's been they both have a couple of Netflix shows they have also been like binging. Kate found some, I think it's a Japanese or Chinese show that's like a zombie show, and she's just like way into it, live action, and she's just like binging the daylights out of it. She's into zombies right now. I don't know what it is with her and zombies right now, but it's all zombies. She's almost done the whole Walking Dead. She's done a ton of stuff.
Have you given her like Shaun of the Dead or any of that kind of stuff yet?
I haven't. That's a great idea. That might be a great one to watch tonight. Look at this. See?
Yeah. She's never seen Shaun of the Dead, or she's surely seen Zombieland and stuff. Probably.
No, I don't think so. She generally goes to the like shows because they're easy to binge and watch. Yeah. That's like number one. And that she likes the slower zombie movies and stuff. She hasn't got. She's like, I mentioned 28 Days Later, and she's like, that sounds too freaky for me.
Yeah. Well, those are both just like funny zombie movies. Like,
right. Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. No, Zombieland's hilarious. The Bill Murray cameo alone is
The
gold.
Bill Murray cameo is freaking amazing.
I don't know how they got him to do that. It's so perfect though.
Yeah, it works so good.
Yeah.
So,
I showed you.
You should add to her. She's probably seen them, but you should add them to her list.
Oh yeah, I own. I think I might own both.
Yeah.
And I showed you I got the next 2 volumes in One Piece. So when I want to keep going with One Piece, I got the next.
I know I haven't been doing my I put on whatever we're reading because I was going to ask you what you read this week because while you were on vacation, and my reading has just grinded to a halt. Like I haven't read anything lately.
Yeah,
I haven't done a One Piece like short forever because I haven't read any. Like the stack of single issues is like getting stupid because I'm so far behind.
Yeah,
I don't know why. It's just been partially because I've been doing so much computer and like desk work. Like lately, like I'm just constantly staring at my computer and stuff. So I stare at my computer in the evenings, but I'm usually just watching something mindless on YouTube or something, and just
it's hard. I tend to, when I'm in that phase, I tend to cut down my pull list, and that tells me if I'm not as motivated to read it that I probably don't need it. And so I'm reading all my new issues. I'm up to date except for like 3 indies this last week that I'm waiting that I'm probably going to read digitally.
In the 2 read stack, it's on the top of the 2 read stack. Lasso, it just hasn't been read yet.
It's good.
So
and then but for me it's all the collected editions. I keep buying those omnis and things that I just don't get around to reading. So that's most of what I did during this week was Sandman. I read a ton of Sandman. I'm probably gonna make some videos on Sandman in the next week or so. And then,
so have you ever read?
No, I never have. No, that's Remender, right?
Right. Yeah, it is Remender.
What do you think?
Bearded and I have been doing that. The last 2 weeks, we did the first 2 volumes of that for my indie show, just me and Bearded. And yeah, I get why. Like I've heard people say, like it gets confusing, and I can see where it could probably get that way. But it's quality sci-fi. It's quality. I know you're more of a fantasy than sci-fi guy, but it's
but I loved obviously Descender is just a masterpiece, and so there's definitely sci-fi that I really enjoy. I tend to lean more fantasy.
I don't think it's as good as Descender yet.
I wouldn't imagine it's possible.
It's a very different story though, but yeah,
the robots in Descender are so fantastic, and they just when you meet Driller, you're just in. Yeah,
I would say like there's more at this stage. There's not nearly as much depth to the characters themselves yet. There is some. He's doing a good job. It's a lot of fast-paced action stuff going on. Like it's moving rapidly, and it's not really like I thought it was going to be space travel. It's not. It's multiverse stuff. But this was all written before all the recent multiverse stuff. The Eververse is what he calls it here.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's where, of course, whenever you get multiple versions of people, and it gets confusing. But yeah, it's up to a really good start. I'm enjoying the heck out of it. We're taking a week off, then we're gonna do volume 3 next week, and then we're gonna be off for a little bit, and then we'll come back and do like 4 through 6 because there's 9 volumes, and I got all 3 of the big giant like 10th anniversary hardcovers. So, and John froze. Hear that? Or he's really paused in that position. So, yeah. So. Carlito, I did like. Oh, now you're like catching up, trying to.
Slowly.
You're moving. You are moving. So Carlito commented on my thumbnail. Yeah, I actually did like a bourbon hunt and bought a bunch of bourbon. Spent a bunch of money that I shouldn't have, and bought a bunch of bourbon. And so we cracked one of them. We cracked the Russell's single barrel, which I had never had yet. So,
what did you think of it so far?
What?
What do you think so far?
It's excellent. I really like it. But I figured I would because I like the Russell's 10-year, and I like the rare breed. So I've liked most of the turkey products I have had. So
and Vinny, Sorry, Vinny, I agree with you. Neil Gaiman is quite talented, and I am definitely enjoying the Sand. I'm in the storyline called Brief Lives, where Dream and is it Delirium, his sister Delirium?
Where they go to the real world?
They're traveling around trying to find their brother Destruction.
Yes,
that's the storyline I'm reading.
Delirium wants to find him, and so you're getting have you read Sandman before or not?
No, this is I had read a couple of trades a few years back and enjoyed them, and then Whitewell Comics and I had done before that the Death, the High Cost of Living, the miniseries introducing her.
I've yet to read that.
And that was spectacular. And then I bought the first omnibus and read it and loved it and decided I'll buy the other two when I can get them for a good price. And I'm going to wait to read the others. Yes, I loved the show. The show was fantastic.
Nice.
So I'm just trying to take my time and not power through it because I know that I won't appreciate it as much if I read it. So I'll read an omnibus, take a big break, read an omnibus, space it out.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we did manage to finish Sandman before Jen got sick, and then Kavi lost the internet and all the stuff that happened with the crew that was reading. But we never did get back to. I wanted to get back to Death, the High Cost of Living with that group, but everything's been.
Were you reading them from the trades? Is that what you were doing?
I had the deluxe editions.
Okay. Because in the Omnis, they just sort of include it wherever all that stuff happened chronologically, like whatever.
There are some things that are included, but the deluxe editions are, for the most part, are just the main story.
The 75 issues.
Yeah, there's a couple times that they have some stuff at the back that's like additional stuff. Death has her own Omni that has the High Cost of Living and some other death-related stuff in it. So it has its own, and some of which is repeats of what's in the other that's in the main story, but there's like her own stuff in it too.
Yeah. No, it's been fun. I prefer the actual Sandman issues for the most part to the miniseries, but it reminds me of Fables sometimes where you get the main story and then sometimes you get a side story and it's like, is the side story going to be as good? When do we get back to the main story? That kind of stuff. But every once in a while you get one of those side stories. It's like a one shot and it's just like, wow, that was spectacular.
Yeah. So what else? So you read your spicy novel. I saw
and I went out and then immediately bought Kindle editions of the rest of the series. So I can spice it up going forward.
I sent you the guy that does the voices reading that one or reading some book similar to that, right? I sent you that.
Yes.
The guy that does Kronk and all these characters.
So good.
With his girlfriend, he reads all her spicy novels. And he's constantly doing Mickey and
There was a fantasy series I liked when I was in college, early days of college, called The Sword of Truth, and they made a mediocre TV show out of it, but it was a very spicy series with dominatrixes, characters and stuff, written by a guy, Terry Goodkind is his name. The first book was called The Wizard's First Rule. Yeah, exactly.
I made it through 3 of them, and then I saw I looked at the 4th one and I felt like I was reading the caption for the 3rd one.
I will say I like the 4th one a lot if my memory holds.
Or maybe it was the 3rd one felt like the 2nd one. It felt like
I'm not a big fan of the 2nd, 3rd, but I liked 4 and 5 a lot.
Well, I didn't make it because I felt like I read the same book when I read 2 and 3, and I never went any further because I was like, this feels very repetitive. Here's a big bag that's going to keep the 2 main characters apart, and it was just I don't know. It felt, and then I read the thing, and
got somewhat repetitive.
Now we're going to introduce the Beast, and it's another character that's going to. It's just I don't remember. It's been a while.
Well, and I think the other flaw that series had from the beginning was that as much time as you felt like you were living in that world, only a little bit of time ever passed, and so even when I was 10 novels deep in that run, they were still only had the period of time that occurred between those 2 books wasn't 10 years. It was just a couple of years. They were really young kids still at the end of that series. And then
Yeah.
he said he ended it, and then he restarted it, and I was like, no, I'm not doing any of this. But this series is by a female author, and so I've noticed instantly the difference, like the male perspective and the female perspective on spicy scenes or on character development or on story arcs. It's very different. And I'm appreciating what Sarah J. Maas is doing in these so far.
Yeah. I need to get a good. Here's my. I've tried some fantasy stuff. Like I like the idea of fantasy. I like well executed fantasy, but I feel like every time I've like looked at a series and I look and it's like it's 19 novels, and I'm like I don't want to like.
Yeah, no. I gave up on the Wheel of Time. I gave up on that. I got 3 novels deep on that, and I was like, nope.
No,
so I get what you're saying.
When I have like 13 or 17 Reacher books here beside me, I say that.
But the Reacher books are, you can jump in anywhere, read anyone at any time, and you're done in a weekend. Like they're just like you just plow through them. Although it was the same with this. I read it in a basically 24-hour period.
I would like to get in. Of course, I say that I need to like catch up on all my reading on lots of different things. But I'd like to get a good fantasy series. But I want like a 4 or 5 novel
Game of Thrones, right?
Story. Yeah.
Game of Thrones. I mean, Game of Thrones is probably the greatest one ever. You've read it? Okay.
Yeah. I've read Game of Thrones. Well, I've read the books that are out.
Right. Yes. We still have the promised 2 more, right?
Yeah. Well, now he's talking like there's going to be 3, which is never going to be 1 more. Like the Winds of Winter is maybe going to be split in half, like he did with Dance of Dragons, and then because you can't finish it, and then there was talk that the Promise of Spring or whatever was going to be potentially split. I don't know. He's never going to finish Winds of Winter. We're never getting another book. It's over.
That's the tragedy of it.
Yeah. We're never going to know how he would have ended the story. Instead, we just have the lay.
I hope he's got like a loose outline that he's entrusted to someone like Brad Sanderson, who never dies and writes everybody's books to the end. It's just like, here, if I die, here's the skeleton. You write the rest. You can make it work.
Yeah.
So
it's been a long time since I've read those books. Like
I love them. I think
watching the show.
They're superb, and I don't think the show deserves the hate it gets. But I'm a lost defender. So I'm a defender for everything.
I don't either because I think there's some fantastic scenes and moments in those final 2 seasons, but you can definitely tell the difference between when they got past his writing.
Absolutely, the minutia and the details were different.
Yeah, the way the show told the story was very different after they got past what he'd written.
Yeah,
I mean, it's very different.
I fully agree with the big twist. I fully agree with the like heel turn of Dany. Like she is a villain, like from the jump.
Yeah,
you're watching a villain origin story with her character.
Yeah.
So the people that were like so upset that she becomes the big bad, like. It works for me from the jump, like her becoming the bad.
Like I don't have a problem with that. I don't think they necessarily pulled it off very well.
No, they didn't.
Like I don't think they told it very well. They rushed a lot of stuff those last couple seasons. It would be my big thing. And
totally agree.
And realistically, it should have been like 10. There should have been like 2 more seasons to spread out that last part,
right?
So you could really. Like dive into, but yes, you're correct. Dany was not like
all the people who named their kids Daenerys or whatever,
their dogs, or
I just freaking love it. It's like you can't. Like, she's not the good guy. She's not the hero.
No,
it's very much about
hero, not really.
No,
even Jon is not really a hero.
Well, they're very flawed characters, top to bottom. The hero that you think is the hero and the villain you think is the villain switch places all through that story, and I think that's the master at writing at work. I think it really the fact that you can have a character that you loathe become a character that you love, and back and forth between that's talent.
So for you, what is if you could read if you had to be like John, you have to read one fantasy series over again for the rest of your life. It's the only fantasy series you can read. Like I'm sticking on Desert Island. You get one. Right. You can take one whole series with you. What are you reading? What is it?
Oh man.
Or maybe it's not fantasy. What's the book series?
It would probably be fantasy. And it would probably be game. I mean, is there anything that would best game? Maybe I'll pick something different just for the sake of discussion. Maybe it's Lord of the Rings. Maybe you go Lord of the Rings on that one, or the entire Tolkien, playlist.
I haven't read anything
Hobbit all the way
Tolkien
up.
other than the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings books. I
Sure.
haven't read like the Silmarillion and all the
Yeah.
I haven't read any of that stuff.
They're basically just like appendices at this point.
Yeah.
Like they're not what the originals were. But no, I mean, as far as book series, that's the one that, Game of Thrones stuck with me a ton. Lord of the Rings sticks with me a ton. I had kept all those sort of truth books, and then recently I cleared all that out to add graphic novels. So it's become a comic book shelf now, and I only have a couple of shelves dedicated to actual novels anymore. To prose novels.
Yeah.
So I do have a massive Lord of the Rings single volume with pictures and illustrations.
Very cool.
And I have Game of Thrones, but they're all paperbacks. I haven't gotten any. I haven't gone around to getting hardcovers.
Yeah, Game of Thrones is down here. It's on the same shelf with that sort of
stuff.
Yeah.
And those books, versus the Court of Rose and Thorns that I read, those books take a lot more focus, and I really need to be invested in it. Versus the Court of Rose and Thorns, like I could fly through that. Like that felt very
the fact that you read
breezy.
that in a day surprised me. For like
it's not a dense fantasy like some books are, where you're like, who's that character? What's the name? What's the magic? How do you all the different proper nouns that get really where you get lost in it, and that's why I struggle with sci-fi sometimes. Is like sometimes the language gets so dense when they're telling me about the energy that fuels the ship and the magic that does the thing. And it's like, I just get lost in the minutia of the language. And I'm like, I don't even understand. I can't even say this guy's name.
I don't even know what this guy's name is.
Right. So that's what trips me up on some sci-fi. It's been rare that I would just power through a sci-fi book. What would be your sci-fi pick? What is there a series from sci-fi that you're like, that's the series? I say this when my wife and I are watching the Isaac Asimov's Foundation on Apple TV. They've done, I haven't
read enough
2 or 3 seasons of that.
I don't know that I've.
And that's really good.
Read enough sci-fi to say that there's one that yeah.
Oh, you're right, Ryan.
At the moment.
I always have to mention Lost, Ryan. It just has to happen. And the Reacher show is really good.
It is. I still haven't watched season 2. It's like everything else. Like my life for the last 4 months, I feel like I'm just so scattered. And I don't even know why. I don't know. Not focused. I have trouble getting through. I didn't even get through whatever the episode of X-Men 97 was this week.
Oh, man.
I know. I was like, I was going to watch it Wednesday, and then it didn't
20 minutes of your life.
I know, and it didn't happen. And then it didn't happen today because I decided I was going to go spend money I probably shouldn't on bourbon. And
there you go.
I have way too many bottles of bourbon.
You're like, I can't focus on all this. I'm going to go drink.
Literally, I could not buy bourbon for 2 years, and I would still have bourbon probably at this point. No more than I drink. Everyone should be worried about me. But, that's all the time.
We all are. We're a little bit worried. Yeah. Concerned.
I mean, I'm not there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just all over the place, it seems like.
No, you're just busy. Yeah, you got a lot going on.
I'm struggling to get stuff. When I'm not working, I struggle to be when I come home and I have actual free time in the evening, it feels like it's taking care of the dog, or it's doing stuff for YouTube, or I just don't have energy to do anything. And that includes read, or I'm going to start this show, and I'm like, I'll just mindlessly hit something on YouTube, or something that doesn't have thought. It's just kind of where I've been lately, and it's
I know that feeling. So that's the fun of just kind of taking I took last week to be like, I'm just going to read whatever the heck I want to read. I'm not going to build content around it or whatever.
No.
Did I freeze up again? Sorry.
No, you're still there.
Okay.
I was looking at last hour. It's okay to be where you are. I know. It's just a struggle sometimes, but it's, it is what it is. Life is, a series of struggles and you die.
Right. Oh,
Now
wow,
being
Carlito.
Motivational.
Carlito with a bold statement. I could never buy bourbon again and still have enough long after I'm gone. Hope that makes you feel better. That's Carlito, that just means you're not drinking with enough friends.
This is what it is. I need people to come drink some of this with me. That's what it amounts to. What about you, Tom? What's your drink of choice right now? What did you drink this week while you're off?
I brought the Eagle Rare up there. I didn't drink. I can
never find that here. I did finally have some, but I can never find that here.
I went to my grocery store and they had one bottle. The one they had been out of it for a long time. They had a single bottle, and I was like, "Coming home with me, buddy." Snagged it. So I just finished the last bottle, so I opened the new one as well. And I'm the kind of guy, when I travel, I don't bring the bottle. I bring a little like I'm drinking a hooch out of a glass jar. Yeah, I take a glass jar and just pour it in and screw the lid on and throw it. I don't drink out of that, but I bring that. That's what I pack with me and put in with my dry goods when I'm traveling.
Yeah, I get that. I am up to 21 different bottles of bourbon in my house, which is an insane number of bourbon bottles.
That is a lot.
I've tried my list. What is it? I looked today. I'm up to, not counting stuff that I've just tried but not had a bottle of. I've had 47 different bottles of bourbon since I started doing this.
That sounds like a song.
Almost 2 years ago.
47 bottles of beer on the wall.
But I got 21. I currently have 21 different things in there in my cabinet. It's insane. Now, Mind you, I bought 5 things today to get there. So and I bought another thing earlier in the week. So I bought 6 things in the last week to get there. So I need to not buy for a little while.
I try to just keep, the Jameson and the Woodford Reserve, consistently in purchase, and then every once in a while I'll buy something new. And I guess an Eagle Rare.
I've had the original bottle I bought was Woodford Reserve, and I've never replaced it. When it was gone, I never replaced it. I did have a double oak at one point, but I've never replaced it. Only things I've replaced that I've bought more than once are Four Roses Single Barrel and Russell's 10. And is there anything else I bought? What else have I bought more than once?
I feel like you need to post that so that I know when I go shopping, what I'm going to pick up.
Oh, I can share that with you. I've now bought 2 bottles of Buffalo Trace because I actually found it for under $30, actual MSRP today. So I did buy it.
I bought a thing of Knob Creek to try it. I think I told you I'm not enjoying it. I'm using it.
Was it the 9?
It was just the basic. Yeah, the 9.
I didn't really enjoy the 9 at all, but I really liked the bottle of 12 year that I got.
Okay.
So I thought the 9 was it was fine. It wasn't terrible.
That rhymed. But the 9 was fine.
It was fine, but yeah. If I was going to get rid of all this stuff and just okay, I can never buy anything that I haven't already bought. From what I've been through, the things that I would keep is the Four Roses, the Russells, maybe the single barrel now instead of the 10 year. The Rare Breed, probably one of the holiday bottles that I got, and then of the things that you can easily find, maybe that James E. Pepper Barrel Proof. That thing is really good too.
Okay,
it's in a little decanter shaped bottle. You see one of those.
Yeah. Send that list to me so that I got it. I need to have that.
The Knob 12 is really good. I really like the Knob 12. I didn't really think much of the thing. Oh yeah, this is the first. Yeah, Dink. This is the first time I've managed to snag a single barrel. I've had the 10 and the Rare Breed is the stuff I usually drink from Wild Turkey. That's probably my favorite distillery. Somebody else asked that. Yeah. In terms of those are the turkey stuff, I've really enjoyed all of it. So everything I've had from that, Everything I've had from Four Roses, though, I've really
I don't know if you can
enjoyed.
see the turkey on the glass there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those two have been the things that I've yet to have something from that distillery I didn't like. I'm not big on the Heaven Hill stuff. The Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond is just okay. I didn't think it was anything special when I finally got it. I didn't
Holy
like
cow.
regular Elijah Craig. I did like their Elijah Craig single barrel.
Carlito said he has 127 bottles.
I can send you my list. I can send you everything I got. I made a little spreadsheet so I can keep track.
When are you doing Bourbon Con?
Bourbon Con.
Carlito's gonna host Bourbon Con. Everybody just comes over.
Gonna host Bourbon Con. There you go.
Everybody just comes over.
I have a bottle of Old Forester 1920. I do like it. It's the only Old Forester I've tried. It's the 1920.
I think I tried that one. I didn't love it, but it was good.
Mm-hmm. It was different. It's very different than a lot of the other stuff that I've had. But
I think it was. I got it because I think it was at a Jabroni taste test.
Oh, there you go. Gosh dang. It's been a long time now.
Yep. I went back at one point and just watched his taste test videos and wrote down all the ones that he liked.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carlito Bourbon Con, right? I know that was it Brother John and up in New York area, or Massachusetts area, he had a bunch of guys over for a whiskey tasting, a Scotch tasting, something like that. And Old Wolf was there, and everybody brought a bottle of Scotch, I think. And then
I've heard people do that. Everybody brings a bottle to try. You just kind of pass around. Everybody does it.
Yeah,
that would be fun. That would be a fun thing to do.
Absolutely.
I just have to bring like a bunch of like 3-ounce bottles that I can in my suitcase when I come visit you, John.
There you go. Pack it in.
Like 19 3-ounce bottles.
We're all set.
I wonder if they'd appreciate that on the plane. All right. What else we got? We haven't done it. We haven't ever got past what are we reading. What are you watching? What is John watching other than X-Men 97? What are you watching?
Kate is trying to get me to watch Squid Games, so we watched the first episode of Squid. That's how far back I am on some show.
I've never watched Squid Games, so yeah.
We watched episode 1 last night. She's already watched it all, and I was like, okay, it was good. It was a good episode. I'm curious how it becomes like an ongoing show, but that's interesting. Let's see. I mentioned Foundation. My wife and I are watching as Isaac Asimov's Foundation on Apple TV.
Okay.
So we are doing that show. If you like sci-fi, it's definitely mind-bending sci-fi kind of stuff, and we're both enjoying that. What else? I'm trying to think what else we've been watching. The girls are into How I Met Your Mother and Friends, so they're watching old sitcoms with us when we do that. So we're on season 4 of Friends now, and we're pretty much at the end of How I Met Your Mother. We're like really near the end.
Okay.
TJ,
what is going on, TJ?
What's going on, my friend? I feel like I haven't seen you enough. I hope your world is going well these days, sir.
There are a lot of Bourbon Fest festivals, but I like Con better. Yeah, there are a lot of Bourbon Fest and stuff. Dog is up and awake and like, hey, what's going on?
I think it's in May here. I got Old Wolf and his family coming out for the Highland Scottish Games Festival here in Orange County. And so we're definitely going to do some Scotch.
Oh, drinking. Yeah.
And I found recently there's a whiskey distillery company out here that's nearby. So we might go and do a little tour and taste test that.
That'd be fun. I've been wanting to do that up at the Holiday one is up just north of Kansas City, a little over an hour from me. And like I've been wanting to go up there just for the heck of it, but I haven't made it yet. So Percy Dog, you were okay. I don't know. You're okay. We're not even to my hour mark yet. You're fine.
Well, I'm going to keep you to it because I'm going to have to make dinner at some point here.
Oh, well, you can go whatever, man. I appreciate you hanging out. I literally like sort of sent the link as a joke because you were like,
I don't check my email enough. So I was not even checking it. I was checking Instagram all the time. So if you'd put it there, I would have probably been on time.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
My bad.
So, well, you were still in here in like the first 5 minutes or whatever. So.
Well, I mean, because you went live. I jumped in. I tried to jump in and say hello.
So.
And check out the link for Long Con. Sorry, was it The Last Con by
Last
Bearded,
Con. There you go. Last
by
Con.
Bear Island.
Oh, I'm just hanging out with that guy. I haven't talked to him for a while. I need to again.
He's always so busy. I feel like it's hard. He was doing that YouTube series, and then he stopped doing that. The soccer.
Oh, I know. I love the soccer thing. It was so entertaining.
And then he stopped. I was like, all right, drag.
Well, I think he's just
Life
moved away from that.
Right. So what are you watching these days? Anything good?
Nothing. Like nothing really. I've been watching. I told you I've been watching a lot of like stupid bourbon YouTube, and comic YouTube. Not that it's stupid, but just like I need to get back on X-Men 97. I keep saying I'm going to start season 2 of Reacher, and I just haven't done it yet. And then there was something else though I did watch. What was the what did I watch the other day? That was good, and I'm blinking on it.
Obviously, I'm doing the X-Men, the 97, which I didn't think I was going to be into, and now I'm definitely into.
We got a lot of Take That Bear Island.
You should, yeah. I missed that.
I haven't opened that yet. I only had the regular Ben Holiday, Carlito, and the soft red wheat till today. And today I bought the Brick House, which is not open. The only thing I opened that I bought today was the Russells and the One Barrel, which people were raving about. That was really good. So
nice.
I haven't tried any of the rest of it. So I have not tried any of the rest of it. I do have a decision I got to make coming up. Now that TJ's in the chat, do I allow my CGC membership to roll over this time? It's due the end of the month. Or do I cancel it?
How much did you feel like you got your money's worth this year?
Yeah, I sent in books. I got the 150 back, and I sent in some books last fall. So no, I've never failed to use it.
Do you feel like you've got ideas for what you'd want to send next year?
I have stuff. I have some Golden Age stuff or pre-Silver Age Golden Age stuff that I need to send, and I have a stack of moderns that I would like to send. I just don't know, with all the stuff that's been going on, I don't know if I want to use them anymore. And it's not the stuff where the guy, like they caught the employee like cheating or whatever, and it's not the stuff where people were taking advantage of the slabs. That stuff doesn't bother me that much. That happens. People are going to find ways around shit. Like the thing that bothers me is the 9.9 shit that they're pulling. And like devaluing and changing the way they've graded for 20 plus years. And I know they're saying, oh, it's not. And then they crank out a 9.9 giant size X-Men that you can see the pictures. It's not a 9.9. Like that whole 9.9 effort to like get people to not pay attention. That's the thing that bothers me, because they're changing the way they've established what a 9.8 is, and then a 9.9 and a 10.0 are these super rare, like legitimately you're supposed to mean something, and now they're like, we're gonna pre-screen for 9.9s.
Right. Oh, take that, Bear Island. Here we go.
There we go.
I want to see it.
You gotta get to the right tab here. Hang on. Oh yeah, there it is. Yes! Did you see that? You see how they reacted in the chat? They loved it. Take that, Bear Island. There you go.
That's so good. I missed it. Oh, Carlito, thank you, buddy.
TJ says it's a bigger discount now. Is it? I don't know if I even looked to see what the thing is. So.
I definitely have like a ton of books I would love to send in. I just don't know if I'm ever going to be ready to do that again because of the cost. It's just so expensive.
Yeah, it is expensive too.
I've got a bunch of great variants that I would love to send in from the last few years. I got a handful of keys I'd love to send in. I got one slab that's one of the older slabs I would love to get reholdered, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm going to wait, I think, a while until I'm in a place where I feel like I can handle it and I can like I did last time. Can I get something out of this for a year?
Yeah. I just don't know. I just don't know what I want to do, and I'm gonna have to make a decision by by like April 20th, basically. So a couple weeks. I got like 2 weeks to make a decision on what I want to do, and I just don't know what I want to do.
Who's doing your pressing and cleaning these days?
Dustin did it the last time.
He seems pretty like quality. Like he seems.
I thought
like
he did a good job. I thought he did a really good job. So I did not have any complaints. So now the Golden Age stuff that I have that I'm going to send is so rough that it's really just about getting those in slabs. I may not even have any pressure to clean that stuff because it's not going to change the grade any. And I mean, cleaning it would be probably nice just to clean them up a little bit, make them look maybe a little nicer. But like, there's no pressing. There's no point in pressing like with the grades. It's not changing the grade like at all.
I would probably be just pressing and cleaning all the modern variants because I got a ton of great ratio variants over the last handful of years that I was like, I'd love to just see them.
Well, I have like a stack of like 20 that I've set aside that like these should go, that are like modern stuff. These need to go. And I just haven't ever, they're just sitting there and they've been sitting there for a while. It's like, when do I get the money to do that?
Right.
Kind of like the thing. So I don't know. The other thing is I'm trying to like kind of finish up these books that I've had on my search list for a while, and some of them are bigger books. All of them are bigger books, and it's like, or at least bigger books for me. And it's like, I don't know, putting that money toward CGC or
that makes sense. Yeah, I get it.
So I don't know what I'm going to do. He's going Gator Guard.
I knew going in that it would be a 1 year and done kind of thing for me. And I just sort of built a plan around like just getting as much stuff.
I've done it now. This would be the 4th year if I renewed it. I think that's right.
Sure.
That I've been a member. So and I've sent books in every year. Every year I've taken advantage of the $20 or whatever you get that's like free money because it's like your membership's $130 and you get the $150. So I've used it every year, and usually I've used it for more than that.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I do not know. I do not. We'll see. I'll have to think about it. Maybe I'll put a poll up. Should I or should I not?
All right. Well, I'm going to go and make
dinner. You should go. I'm going to close this down. We're going to get out of here.
Right. Do you want me to hang while you log out?
Yeah, you can hang for a minute. So I want to thank Vinny and Carlito and Lasso and TJ and Dink for all hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate it. I'm going to go back up through here. Some other people.
Harry was here for a bit.
Daniel and Joe, Beg Sevens, and Perry was here. There's Perry. And Planet Arizona was here earlier, so I'm not going. He hasn't commented for a while. The 99 is just influencers pearl clutching. I wouldn't go by that picture. It looks more like glare, and it doesn't look like glare to me. But I just don't like the concept that they're fundamentally like proposing to change the way they grade. And they can say all they want, but if they start taking 10 books and suddenly 2 of them 9.9s, that's not how they've graded to this point. And so, but I don't know. It just bothers me that they're using that to. I don't particularly like the way they've handled their business lately. Let's just put it that way. So I don't know if I'll go to CBCS or if I'll just not slab stuff for a while or what I'll do. So, but anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I know TJ loves his CGC and there's nothing wrong with that, but they don't have my undying dedication. Very few businesses do. So, what is it? Grading is TJ 20 out of 2,000 is a lot less than 2 out of 10. 2,500. This is actually something you're not wrong, Dean. That like if they could program it to like scan a book and like be an AI driven process, it would take some of the crap out of it, the art out of it. So, all right, we're gonna get out of here. John needs to go. He needs dinner. Zombieland, Shaun of the Dead. Watch him with your good.
Tonight might be the perfect time.
There you go. All right. Later, everyone. We're going to get out of here. We will see you next time.